An ellipse is the set of all points in the plane, the sum of whose distance from two fixed points f1 and f2 is a constant. These two fixed points are the focus, plural for focus, of the ellipse. The equation and graph of ellipses. The equation of an ellipse is of the form x squared divided by a squared plus y squared divided by b squared equal 1 for a is greater than b and greater than 0. Okay. If this situation is true, then this ellipse have the vertices of plus and minus a 0, so there's 2 points for the vertices. You have the major axis. This is the horizontal length of 2a. The minor axis is the vertical length of 2b, and this have the focus of c squared equal to a squared minus b squared, and they come with 2 points. And the graph is a horizontally kind of ellipses. If we have the situation where we have x squared divided by b squared plus y squared divided by a squared equal 1, then we have an ellipse that kind of look vertically-ish. And the vertical length is 2a, horizontal length is 2b. So one way of looking at this is that if the denominator of x is greater than the denominator of b, then we have a vertical ellipse. Okay. Note that in both cases, if a equal b, then the equation become x squared plus y squared equal a squared. So this means the circle is just a special case of ellipses. An equation of the ellipse is given. Find the focus, the vertices, and the length of the major and minor axis, and sketch the graph. So looking at this equation, we have x squared divided by 25 plus y squared divided by 9 equal 1. So x squared, so when you're looking at it, 25 is larger than 9, right? 25 here is larger than 9. So this telling us the major axis is on x. And that, so this telling us that a equal 5, b equal 3. The major axis is on x, so the major axis, the length of it is 2 times a equal 10. The minor axis is on y and have the length of 2b, and that is 2 times 3 equals 6. Okay, and we have the vertices at the vertices is negative 5, 0 and 5, 0. The next one we want to find is the focus. So the focus is c squared equal to a squared minus b squared. Okay, so that is 25 minus 9 equals 16. So the focus is the 2 point foci. That is negative 4, 0 and 4, 0. So with all this information, let's go ahead and sketch the graph. So the length of the major axis is 10. And the vertices is at negative 5 and 5. Since the minor axis is 6 from the center of 0, so that is 3 up and 3 down. The focus is right here. And so we can sketch the graph of an ellipse. In the next case, we have x squared equals 4 minus 1/4 y squared. So sometimes we have to do some work in order to put the equation in the form that we wanted. So x squared now become x squared plus 1 over 4 y squared is equal 4. And so if I go ahead and divide everything by 4, then I get x squared divided by 4 plus y squared divided by 16, then equal 1. So this have the major axis on the y-axis. The major axis is on the y. So it have the length of, so b here equal 4 and a here equal 2, and here we have the length of 2b, and that is 8. The minor axis is on x, and it have the length of 2a, that is 4. The focus c squared equal b squared minus a squared in this case, that is 16 minus 4, that is square root of 12 plus or minus, that is 12. So then c is equal to plus or minus root 12. So the focus are the 2 point negative root, because this is the major axis is on y, the focus is on y as well. So 0 negative root 12 and 0 root 12. So here we got our ellipse, and the vertices is at 0, 4 and 0, negative 4, and we get the focus is somewhere over there. We want to find the equation of an ellipse. Then with the given condition, the vertical of the ellipses are plus or minus 4, 0, and the focus are at plus or minus 2, 0. So note that both the vertical and the vertices and focus are on the x-axis. This means that we have the case where the denominator of x is greater than the denominator of y. So this here is the equation in form x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared equal 1, where a is greater than b and a is equal 4. So a squared equal to 16. If the focus equal 2, so c equal 2. And because this is the case where we have the vertices on the x-axis, c squared formula, c squared equal to a squared minus b squared. So then this telling us that b squared is equal to c squared minus, it's telling us that b squared is equal to a squared minus c squared, and that is 16 minus 2 squared, and that is 12. So b squared equal 12. So with all this information, we can write the equation for the ellipse in this case. So then we can get the ellipse of x squared over 16 plus y squared over 12 equal 1. Okay, next up, if the length of the major axis equal 4 and the length of minor axis equal 2 and the focus on the y-axis, so we have the situation where we get x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared equal 1, where b is greater than a. Okay. If the length of the major axis equal 4, is 2b equal 4. This means b equal 2. And the minor axis is 2a equal 2. This then implies a equal 1. So then, this telling us we have the equation of x squared over 1 plus y squared over 2 equal 1. Excuse me, plus y squared over 4 equal 1.